from Clarkston, Michigan, the greatest city in the world. It's the Jose Aliaga Show. Jose Aliaga knows everyone. Get to know him as he interviews some of the most fascinating people from the greater Independence Township area. And now, broadcasting from the studios at Clarkston High School, the home of the state champion Wolves, here's Jose Aliaga.
Welcome to the Jose Aliaga Show. Today I have a special guest. He probably doesn't need introduction, but you know, I have to introduce everyone. My guest is my good friend Chuck Edwards. He's raised in Bloomfield Hills and he lives in Clarkston since 2011. He's married, so sorry ladies. And this is Chuck Edwards. How you doing, Chuck?
Good, my friend. Good to see you.
Me too, nice to see you.
Thanks for having me out, I appreciate it.
Well, I try. And a lot of people ask me, when we're gonna see Chuck? I says, I have to try, I keep calling, I'm sorry for bothering you, but everybody wants to know more about you. Sometimes people says, what Chuck is doing, you know, he says, some people think you're an athlete, some other people think you're a businessman. So today we would like to know more about you.
Right.
So let's start this interview. So you're married for 13 years.
Yep.
With Katie. I think we have some pictures there. Let's see if Stefan can get some picture for us. He's working, and you have a 4 years old Charlie.
There we go.
Oh,
there's Heidi and Charlie.
Yeah, there's Heidi and Charlie.
My loves is what I call them.
So Charlie is 4 years old?
Charlie's 4, yep.
Oh, okay. So what is your, oh, that's a great picture of
That's
Charlie.
him over at the Clarkston family farm. He and I spent a lot of time over there volunteering.
Oh, okay. So what is your hobby?
What I really love doing is fitness, and I love helping people. Those are kind of my two things. So you alluded to, you know, people wonder, am I, you know, professional business person or am I into fitness? Depending on which social media you're looking at, whether it's Instagram or Facebook. Instagram's going to be a lot of fitness stuff. Facebook's going to be prominently business. So I can kind of understand where you're coming from with regards to that.
When you're saying you're helping people or helping the community, I know you always try to give back to the community, which is very nice. I hear somebody saying that you have a special class that is about promoting something, helping people. What?
I do. Right now I'm actually teaching a class over at the district on Baldwin Road, about a half mile north of Great Lakes Crossing. It's an anxiety and depression class. It's a 10-week class that runs Tuesday nights at 7:30.
Okay.
It's something, I've been teaching these classes for a while, and it's just become it's almost kind of like an inborn passion of mine.
Oh, we have a picture there.
Oh, there we go.
Right.
Beautiful.
Okay, so this is about helping people with anxiety, depression, and at the district.
Yep.
So if somebody want to sign up for this class, what they need to do, what, online or?
They don't need to sign up, they can just show up. If they wanted to call and find out more information, it'd be thedistrictvenue.com. That's where they'd find out that. The classes are free to the community. Anybody's welcome to attend.
Oh, it's nice, very nice. Very nice. How many people you have currently?
Class this past week, I think there was 14 people that attended, which is the perfect size for a group dynamic. You get, and really any bigger than that, you kind of start losing that personal touch. When I've got, you know, that 14 down lower, even that like 8 to 12 range, it allows me to engage with each person individually, get to remember names and all that kind of jazz, and it just makes for a different group dynamic.
Oh, it's very nice.
We've got that size.
It's very nice. And it's good that people to know about this. And then also I hear that you are in business, you're in mortgages. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I've been doing this for, what is it, going on 9-10 years now, licensed mortgage advisor. And you know, when a mortgage closes, yeah, that's when I get a paycheck, but that's not so much what I do. You know, I don't have to handle any of the daily operations of loan processing, any sort of stuff like that. I've got a team that does that for me.
Oh, okay.
Which is just a blessing. It allows me to focus on the things that matter, which is the referral partner and then the client. So I get to focus all my energy.
So a lot of people are watching right now.
Yep.
Just for you know, a lot of people watch my show. That's really cool.
Yeah,
like
you're popular. That's why I like you.
Yeah. Thank you. So if somebody right now is watching and says, oh, my credit is not so good, but I want to apply and see if I can qualify through Shock to get a house.
Okay.
So somebody with bad credit, you will be able to help them? Or?
It's interesting you mentioned that. Actually, yeah, I'm actually a credit expert. I teach classes in Metro Detroit on credit, how to fix it. And I'm tied in with one of the nation's top credit experts, who's kind of my go-to, my mentor, if you will, that I've learned a lot of stuff from and consider him a good friend now that I keep up to date with all the guidelines. What I found, because years back I realized that, you know, you get people come to you for help and, well, your credit's bad, bye. That just wasn't sitting well with me. So I took it upon myself to learn credit guidelines, learn all the ins and outs of how to fix stuff, and I started implementing that in my business, offering what you might call like a credit coaching. I'm not a credit counselor, I can't really call myself that, but credit coaching. And what one finds is that it's kind of ironically, it's not that difficult to fix credit. You know, so people can go the route of hiring a company to do it for them, this, that, or the other. Oftentimes I end up fixing what they paid someone else to do for them. And if somebody will, you know, what I offer to people is that I'm willing to go to bat with you. I'll do the long haul with you to fix your credit as long as you express a willingness to me to change. I'll be there for them.
Oh, good to know, because a lot of people want to, you know, buy a house, and that I see you have an ad. I see it on Facebook. You're very popular in social media, which is smart and good. So I see you saying there's a lot of houses in Clarkston currently for around 250, 300,000, a decent size.
Yeah, one of the ads I've got a guy that works with me actually out of Florida that helps me with this. But one of the ads I've got running is a free Clarkston homes report, is what we're calling it, with get a list of homes, homes that have sold in Clarkston for 300,000 and under.
Okay.
You know, that's one of the ads. I've got several in the area, just as a way to reach out and try to connect with people and engage and see how I can best help them.
Right, because right now the interest loans are really low, right? For someone that want to buy a nice house in Clarkston.
Rates are kind of just rates. The election, you know, definitely changed things quite a bit there. Rates probably aren't at an all-time low right now. I've definitely seen them higher over the years. What's interesting, you know, that you mentioned rates, is that's what I get a call from a lot of people talking about is rates. The first thing I ask is, what do you understand about interest rates? And most people don't understand it, at which point I get to, you know, do what I love to do, pour into people and educate and help them understand what goes on there. When it comes to rate, you know, to put it simply, when it comes to rates, we're all basically playing with the same thing. Same rates, same costs, might be a little bit here or there. So given that's the case, the next denominator that we find is actually much more important is knowledge and the ability to close a loan. Because while rates have, you know, fluctuated a little bit, what has changed drastically is mortgage guidelines. So it's gotten tougher and tougher and tougher over the years since the housing collapse to actually originate and close a loan successfully and close on time. So that's where I educate people to, you know, yesterday's thinking of rate. You call a bunch of people and go, oh, I guys got lowest, go that. That's not advantageous for the consumer anymore. It's let me find somebody that has the most knowledge and ability to close. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, yeah, because, okay, sometimes I see people say, oh, Jose, this bank or this other group says this percentage looks low. But when they go there, they say, oh, your credit is so bad, so no, we cannot give you that product, we can give you this or that, and they end up different than what people's expectation is.
Yep. Which brings up a good point. So when it comes to marketing, you know, if I'm going to advertise an interest rate, which I never have, just because it's more trouble than it's really worth, there are so many government guidelines that require all this disclosures and information. Hey, we put out this rate. The part that's in the really fine print that people often, where they run into the experience like you just explained, is they don't read you can't really see the fine print, let alone read it. That's going to say, you know, you've got excellent credit, you're putting a bunch of money down, having low debt to income ratios and all that kind of jazz, and you're going to get this rate I just advertised, maybe. So it's kind of like a bait and switch to get the phone to ring. It works. It makes people a lot of money, and it's one way of doing business, but people are oftentimes set up for that. So what I recommend, you know, when somebody asks me or they come to me, I work with predominantly first-time buyers. I just love that helping aspect of educating somebody who's so green to it and needs all that help. Where I try to educate, or what I suggest people do, is oftentimes, the analogy I use is usually when we buy something, we read reviews. Everything that I do, I go to Amazon reviews or some reviews and I read it, and whatever's got the most reviews, I run with. I like to hear what other people have to say. I think people should do the same for mortgages. If we get online and look at, lenders, mortgage people, realtors, whatever it may be, who's got that online presence, is one indicator that you might have, that this person takes what they do a little more seriously, and it's going to give the consumer hopefully a little bit more confidence that who they're dealing with is going to have that foremost expertise, so to say.
So Chuck, what is the difference between a fixed mortgage for 30 years, different with a mortgage which is an ARM, people calling an ARM mortgage? What's the difference between those two?
Which is a great question. So the 30-year fixed is when you close the mortgage, you've got X interest rate that's going to last for whatever the term is. 30-year, 15-year, 20-year, 10-year, whatever it may be, that interest rate, nothing is changing it, assuming you make your payments on time. Versus the ARM, when you close, you're going to have a set period of time for which it will be a set interest rate, a fixed rate, and then after that time, whether it's a 1 year, 3, 5, 7, 10, whatever it may be, it's going to start to adjust.
It change?
It'll change,
okay.
Yep, based on market conditions.
Okay, it may be good, it may be bad for some people, some customers that would like to have something probably fixed, right?
It definitely has more risk. For years and years during the housing collapse, it was the greatest thing in the world. I mean, it was bragging rights to be in an ARM because they kept dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. I mean, it just got crazy, kept dropping. Today we're seeing the flip side of it where they're starting to raise. It can still make perfect sense to do it. It just, again, goes back to you need somebody with the foremost expertise that understands the bigger picture of it all and understands their client fully so that they can properly, educate and then suggest, this ARM makes sense for you to go do. Or it doesn't. You need to be in a fixed rate.
Right. Because it's two different types of fixed. So I don't know, far as I know, maybe you can educate me more. I know some people prefer 15 years term or 30 years. 15 years, obviously, people pay more, right? But they can end up owning the house after 15 years. You sell those products?
I do sell that product.
Okay.
And again, when it comes to determining that, and these are questions I get all the time, is why I harp and I talk with consumers and different referral partners and stuff, why I help them explain why I spend so much time up front getting to know that client, so I truly know if it's 15 is better or 30 is better. And it's once you know enough about their wants, needs, fears, and goals, it becomes pretty easy to hone it in. And then you can even get, you might have an original game plan, let's buy this house and get this loan closed, but you can either in the back of your head or communicate it to the consumer, we're going to close with this 30-year, and this is our game plan moving forward. In X number of years, we need to look at this again, with a plan now to probably refinance then when your finances, you're going to make more money, you're going to, whatever it may be, let's look at changing this thing into maybe a 15 or whatever to drop hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest and get you in a more favorable position. So going back to the, looking at myself as more of the advisor, from an advisory standpoint, I'm looking in what's that client's best interest today, tomorrow, and for the long haul, so I continue to be a part of that for them.
I met a lot of people that live in a rental house or rental apartments, and they pay between, in Clarkson, between $800, $900 a month rental. But they have good credit, a regular credit. And these people always ask me, Jose, I may be thinking buy a house in Clarkson. I met several people in the last, several years because I live here. I'm a township trustee. I get to know people. So, do you think these people can apply for a house between, like a $200,000 house, somebody with good credit that is already paying a rental of $800 a month?
Here's how could they? Absolutely. But I'll back up and answer it this way.
Okay.
Almost always, it's going to be cheaper to own than rent. So for what you're getting for your $800 or $900 in an apartment, with an apartment above you and below you and one on each side type thing, and a parking spot, nothing, versus $800 to $900 in a home with a few bedrooms and a garage and a yard, all that kind of jazz, always cheaper. Kind of, I guess if you say amenity to amenity, I don't know the right term for it, to rent. in terms of could they go from an $800 or $900 payment and go get 200,000, that would be no. 200,000 is going to be a bigger payment than that. But it's really easy to figure it out when we take a look at going back to the planning aspect. I like to look at what are you comfortable with off the bat, and then I'll find out what your max buying power is, as opposed to here's your buying power, go do it, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, what has this done to me? Let's look at what you're comfortable with, and I really try to, I guess in a sense, hold them not accountable, but just keep reminding them, hey, you told me at day one you want a $900 payment. You can get a $1,500 payment, and you're getting up there what you're looking at. Are you really sure you want to deviate that far from what you originally told me you're comfortable with, type thing? Kind of just coming alongside them, helping them.
For example, I know that a lot of people are watching this. This is
Right.
I love chalk. I should call this guy tomorrow. So if somebody's thinking right now like that, what have to bring to you to be able to start a process or something?
Everybody needs kind of different stuff. There's, in terms of what they're actually going to need, it could be a whole host of things. What we look at is an easier way to answer it. That is kind of across the board variables. We're going to be looking at government guidelines. One, I guess, bonus, they've made it kind of simple. It's pretty black and white. Income and credit qualifying is what applies for the majority of people across the board. So I'm going to need to know how much money you make and what your credit looks like. That's going to be the nuts and bolts kind of beginning playing field of where we're going in terms of figuring stuff out from there. And then depending on the type of income they have, or if they're retired collecting a pension or retirement income, whatever it may be, that's going to start determining if I need this paperwork or that paperwork, or this. It's just a million different things from there.
You're a very successful businessman, and I know your dad is a very successful businessman. Part of your success, you think, is about, somebody mentioned, because you get a lot of referrals because your customers are satisfied with your work, or how you build your business?
Yeah, so one thing, referrals is a huge part. It's 100% referral-based business. So what that does is that sets me up for a couple things. One, it puts me on the spot for delivering every single time if I want to continue to get referrals. If we back up to the what I said before regarding how I've got a team of people that handle all the loan stuff for me, allowing me to do I really only have two jobs at that point. My job is to focus on the referral source and then the client, and really nothing else. And so that ties into referrals. Because I've got two awesome people that work for me and handle all the loan stuff for me, I've developed what you might call this triangle of trust, so to say. That allows,
what is that, though, the triangle of trust?
So the triangle of trust, it's something I devised with my business partner, or not business partner, my business coach, my sales coach, who came up with it. And it's simply going to, if we look at an upside down, I guess, triangle, point at the bottom, going up like this, I position myself at the bottom is the way I look at it. And then I've got referral source and then client at the top.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of the visual, and I actually draw this out for clients when I'm in front of them, helping them see. And what that triangle of trust is it's this kind of cohesive relationship that I commit myself to referral partner and client, where I'm just going to pour my everything, my heart and soul into this transaction for them.
Oh, okay.
And focus entirely on them with the ultimate goal, like what does success equal in a transaction? Is I'm going to exceed the client's expectations, farly exceed them, and that referral partner is going to get a referral during the process.
Okay.
That, success equals that in my playbook is what I'm looking at.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying. I know what the people think. You talk about the triangle of Bermudas.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, we're not talking anything funky. Not me.
Hey, Chuck, what kind of advice you can give to someone that's watching right now? I know a lot of young guys are watching too. They want to start a business and want to be probably like you. What will be a good advice you can give to someone that want to start a business?
It's a good question. I've been there a few times, and as you said, my dad being successful, and today he's a business coach. He had been in IBM 25 years, corporate, so I watched that my whole life growing up. And then when I was in high school, he decided to leave corporate America, open his own business, and went into business coaching. And that, talk about a shift, from corporate to that. And so I've learned that's been another, 20 some years of him doing that. I've learned a whole new host, I guess, of increase my business prowess with that. And so I'm just a huge advocate of, getting that coach or that mentor I've got 2 sales coach and a business coach and my father and a mentor actually here in Clarksville. So I got a whole host of people. So if someone wants to start a business or better themselves in any sort of business fashion, I believe the easiest way is just to surround yourself with people that have already done what you're looking to do and latch onto them and allow them to proverbially kick your butt, allow them to kind of help you, call you out on your stuff, point out your flaws, kind of that tough love to help you get where you need to get. So kind of like working out. If we're not injuring those muscles, nothing's going to change. I think it's the same with life or business or whatever it may be.
Chuck, I know time is, flying, but before we finish, I would like to ask you something. So people that would like to contact you, a lot of people right, wants to know more about you or your business, how they can contact you? You have a website, phone number, or
Facebook is probably the best, and that would be at the A. Charles Advantage. It would be my Facebook link. There we go. Beautiful. Look at that.
Right there.
There we go.
Right there. You see it right there?
That's where we're going. And then my phone number is going to be right there.
Can you say what is your phone number?
Phone number 248-703-9262. And then if they wanted to get on a website, it would be acharlesedwards.com. Pretty simple.
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming here. It was a pleasure.
This has been excellent. Thank you.
Yes. I hope it's not the last one. I would like to see you sometime in the future.
It. Absolutely.
Yes.
Next time I'll get you doing push-ups. We'll talk about fitness.
Oh, yeah. We can talk
next time. We'll do a training session.
Yeah. Thank you, my friend.
Good
Thanks so
seeing you.
much.
Thank you.
That was all for today. If you're interested to put some comments in the Jose Aliaga Show, you can go to our Facebook page, the Jose Aliaga Show, and you can put any good comments. If you have any bad comments, don't put anything, please. Thank you, and God bless you. Bye-bye.